In today's edition of the Floating Head Chronicles, we have Mr. Ryan Borgwardt. If you guys haven't heard about him, he's out of Wisconsin. He was the kayaker that disappeared in February and faked his own death and fled to Eastern Europe. Now, what's even more odd is this man turned himself in. He flew willingly back over and turned himself in. And when they asked him why he was doing that, he was saying, family, I guess. He appeared at court yesterday, couldn't afford a attorney, so he got a court-appointed one. He has a $500 bond, and he says, I only have $20 in my wallet. That's all I have. He is facing $10,000 fine and 9 months imprisonment. I don't think that's enough. One, this guy looks kind of like a mixture of Gru or somebody that I would see that worked with Cruella de Vil and stole puppies. But man, I feel bad for that wife and her kids. But let's carry on so you guys can get more of this story. So, to carry on with this crazy story, he was reported missing in August after failing from returning from a fishing trip an hour north of his home. So for 7 weeks, they searched for him. And I'm talking like elaborate searches, going scuba diving and everything, trying to find this guy with trained volunteers. Then they recovered his kayak flipped, his tackle box, his keys, wallet, and license. And they had eventually learned that he had left to Canada, or to Europe from Canada. So they contacted him November 11th, father of 3, when they learned he executed a plan to fake his own death for a number of reasons unknown to the public. Now, to break it down, he paddled out, deliberately overturned it, tossed the phone, and returned to shore in a child-sized inflatable boat. Then he rode an e-bike 80 miles to Wisconsin and boarded a bus and then crossed into the Canadian border and then flew to Europe. They did see that he transferred funds from a foreign bank account, changed his email, and communicated with this woman. And that's kind of where they were able to kind of make the tie. And as you can see, they contacted the Russian-speaking woman, and they were able to get in contact. And you can't make this stuff up, guys. He took out a $375,000 insurance policy, which he intended to help his family. You know, I'm sure your family is way better off without you. I'm sure it was, but you gave them all heartache, making all the kids think that their dad died. Like, what kind of monster are you? That's a terrible thing, and it changes and alters their life. I know if that was my dad and I thought you were passing, I cried and went over all this in such a traumatic situation, probably gave me trauma not wanting to go in the water ever again, and then find out that you're alive? Bro, you do not exist to me anymore because you clearly didn't give a shit that whole time about my feelings, you know? I'm just saying, hopefully maybe his family's more understanding. So just to break it down a little bit more, it talks about how they found the vehicle trailer at the park, so he left everything to make it look pretty good. 2 fishermen the following day found a fishing rod, and the wife was able to say, hey, yeah, that's my husband's. So they ended up doing some searching and realizing, so they were like, kind of weird. The passport was found at the family home, but learning he left the country gave investigators a break into the case and prompted them to search his computer and dig deeper. They found out that he had replaced the hard drive on his laptop and cleared his browser history. He also reported his passport stolen and obtained a replacement. So now, coming down to it, the county is seeking restitution for the taxpayer-funded search efforts. Thousands of dollars spent by a nonprofit to help do the search, and they're stating that the amount of time that they spent on that it equivalated to $10,000. I think it was much more, and emotional damage and everything else. Hopefully the wife is smart and is like, peace, bro, because what the fuck? And now, I don't know. what is your guys' opinions? Because every day is something crazy when you open up the news, and this one had me sitting here like, well, now I want to hear more. Drop me a comment. Have a good day, guys.